Welcome to I Hate Critics 1994. I am professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is MJ.
Hello.
Amy.
Hello.
Now, Amy, are you going to watch the new movie Irish Wish?
Duh.
with none other than Lindsay Lohan?
Oh, no. I'm not going to watch that.
But she's in Ireland.
But she's not Irish, one. And two, no.
She has red hair. She did.
So do I.
Does she have red
Yeah.
hair? I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, regardless, why are you asking me that dumb question?
Because that movie's out this weekend on Netflix.
Just because I'm in love with an Irishman doesn't mean I need to see every single Irish film.
It doesn't? I thought it did.
No. Okay, take that back. Doesn't mean I should watch some bullshit Hallmark movie about Ireland. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Where is our mascot?
Oh, Robbie!
Robbie.
I got him. Hang on.
Oh, we got to do the sponsorship. Do you remember the sponsorship?
Oh, the lovely Pontiac Fiero.
What's the tagline?
Oh. I don't have a good one.
Pontiac
I
Fiero.
don't have a new good
Business in the front, party in the back.
Or the way the Gen X, just our whole Gen X thing is just like Pontiac Fiero. It is what it is. Which I like that a lot.
It does what cars do.
Gets you from point A to point A.2.
We are drinking OK soda while we. There's like two of them we were watching the 1994 Academy Awards, and there were like two taglines for commercials that were just like, "It is what it is."
Yeah,
it's like one of them was like McDonald's, like, "Yeah, it's food."
It's edible.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. It's edible.
Kinda.
It's full of Olestra. I'm gonna be shitting for days. Yeah.
Olestra was this.
No, Olestra was
A food additive that made you shit your pants.
That's basically
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
yeah, so
They put it in everything for like a half a year. They saw everybody have diarrhea, and then they pulled it off the shelves.
and then oddly enough, about 4 years later, they come out with this weight loss pill called Ally, made with Olestra. Did the same fucking thing. It was just oily shits for everybody, basically. Oh, the 90s, you guys.
Are all
90s.
diets just a scam to get you just shit your brains out and, hey, I lost weight?
You know, you can also do that with just eating gluten if you're a celiac. Either way, you may not lose weight. You'll just lose a lot of water.
Hey, the best diet is just drinking lots of water. Then
Yeah.
you pee out all your water weight, and it feels like you lost weight.
Yeah, well, that's... And not to mention all the nutrients you just washed out, too. God, what the fuck are we talking about? Because we just watched a really great, one of the YouTube content creator made a video about 90s food that came out,
Yeah.
which within every year of the decade. And it was fascinating. It was fascinating, the stuff that came out, and they immediately pulled. Like, that's not going to work, you know? So I wish they would have done that with some of these 90s movies that we've watched.
Oh, God.
That's not going to work. We're not going to do that.
I'm obsessed with the 90s, everything 90s right now, because I'm listening to Chuck Klosterman's book on the 90s, which I have no idea when it came out. That could be just not even a timely reference, but I just found it.
Right?
And so I've been listening to it, and it's got me just in this 90s thing where I'm just like, everything I do is something 90s related now. Like this podcast, or just like
Existing.
last night we were doing this thing we call YouTube roulette, where you're just picking. You get to pick everybody picks a song, and you just settle on it and you play it, and everybody has to sit there and listen to it and comment upon it.
Yeah.
And I found the song of Generation X, in my opinion,
Right.
the one that just captures our ambivalence, but also like our irony and our sincerity all in one. Where to the point where you can't tell which one we actually intend.
Oh, isn't that sad?
So there's this song called "Fix Me Now," MJ, by Garbage. And basically, it's just this woman who's like, she's saying, yes, I am profoundly broken and I do need to be fixed. But at the same time, she's saying, fix me now, with this ironic, like, oh, you're going to fix me. You're going to fix me. But she also is saying, I also need to be fixed.
Right.
But then she's saying, you're going to fix me, really you.
Oh.
It's like, you're just, as a person, you're just like going like, am I supposed to fix? No, I'm not. I can't fix you. You can't be fixed?
Yeah.
And all of those are true at the same time.
True.
So that is what it's like to talk to a Gen Xer, is that song. If you talk to Generation X in the 90s, that's what we talked like. You couldn't tell what it was that we were trying to tell you.
And then you just depress everybody with all of that. God bless. Oh,
We're a lot more earnest now, aren't we? I would say.
are we?
We try a little more.
I don't know if we do. I find myself trying less and less. With
Not
every
everything.
year.
Not everything we say has quotation marks anymore.
Oh, that's true. Not everything is met with like a bath full of sarcasm.
We did invent the
The air quotes.
We invented air quotes.
Yeah. I'm in love with you.
Yeah. Wait, are you?
I know. I put love in air quotes, which translates well on a podcast that no one's watching. So yeah, that works out. God bless. Yeah. Well, you know what blows my mind is that as we're watching some of these films too, and even the Oscars, I think we are a lot less cynical now. But I'm watching like the Oscars from 1994, and I'm like, nope, we were still cynical back then, but not enough to like make some of these movies not exist. You know, like anything with Anthony Hopkins. So I don't know.
Did he do you think Anthony Hopkins was like, I just played like a serial killer who eats people. I just really need a break. I need a nap. So I'm going to make Shadowlands and The Remains of the Day.
Yeah. and again, like a nice long nap.
This is how he got Hannibal Lecter out of his system, was just to
bore the fuck out of everybody else. Yeah.
He needed a full year's nap.
I love you, honey, but I mean, this is the beigest part of your career right here. Absolutely beige.
Even the title Shadowlands just sounds so boring.
And I was telling you, too, it's like that's one of 3 or 4 movies that Becky and I walked out on during that time period. It just was so boring. And that's a shame because Deborah Winger is fantastic.
Academy Award nominee.
Yeah, but like her and Emma Thompson, they just couldn't save him from himself, you know? He made some bad decisions. And yet people laud those films like they...
People are angry at us right now for hating them so much.
Hey, you know what will make you happy, guys? Cliffhanger, the movie, was actually nominated for Oscars. Cliffhanger!
3 Oscars.
3 fucking Oscars.
But if you want to understand how to achieve anything in the world, you understand that Mrs. Doubtfire is an Academy Award-winning film.
Doesn't that just piss you off?
So I've delineated this concept many times. When it comes to trying to understand or choose the Oscars, the best thing to do in like all the categories, like, you know, the costumes or the makeup, is that when someone does the most of something, not the best,
just the most,
but the most. Like there's the most makeup is in Mrs. Doubtfire, like the most obvious work that you could go, like no one can argue with you that they did work in Mrs. Doubtfire. Like they did there. There's a lot of makeup there.
Really put a lot on there.
Whereas something else, you know, that is also nominated, like goes for a more natural thing to make, you know, to feed into the believability of the story, and it's harder to tell the amount of work that went into it.
Right.
Like Schindler's List, they put a great deal of work into the makeup and the costumes and the hair. It was an incredible amount of work to make that look, but it made it look so natural that you can't see the work.
Right.
Like it doesn't feel like you can see the work. It feels like you're seeing the thing happen.
Right.
And, you know, there was never anyone on set who thought that he was Mrs. Doubtfire, that this isn't Robin Williams. I know he did a bit where he was like, he went out into public dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire and people didn't know it was him.
That's no fucking way.
Sure.
Really?
Dude.
Really?
Maybe they didn't know it was you, Robin, but they did know it was a woman in drag. A man in drag. They didn't know that.
Like,
I would say they probably did know it was him.
yeah.
Maybe.
Because you really can't mistake that face.
Sally Field is doing work in that
Oh.
movie, pretending
Oh,
along with that idea.
she really let her down believing that she was the villain in that movie.
Well, we didn't,
Well,
because we got in right away and said, no, he's the bad guy.
well, we did. That's true. But like back in the day, we actually God,
I mean,
she's such
you
a
ask
shrew.
people today who still like this piece of shit, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
They'll tell you that they still think that he's a hero when he's a fucking abusive monster.
Just is an abusive monster.
He's just gaslighting his wife and just turning her into this shrew that she's totally not. She's like, I have to go to work and then come home and take care of everyone. I have to make dinner and clean my house after I've been at work all day and my husband hasn't. And my husband could just feel so comfortable that he quits his fucking job.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a conversation that you should have with your spouse at all.
Oh, of course not.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Open communication. What? What's that?
No.
Nope, just invite a bunch of donkeys and goats to be inside of your house and eat all yours. Why are we going off on Doubtfire?
Because it's such a piece of crap.
It's such a piece of crap.
And because 94, as great as this, Oscars was, like, it's a great Oscars.
It is.
This is so much better than those past years.
Oh my God.
Nothing against the winners. Like, the winners are great. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, definitely all deserving winners of what they won. But, like, this Oscars was very cringy in many ways.
Yes.
And, like, the 94 Oscars are strangely not as cringy as we expected them to be.
Yeah,
Like Whoopi Goldberg is kind of cool.
Yeah.
As the host. She does not one time going, this person is here. And this person, I mean, what she shouted out Whitney Houston, but it wasn't like Whitney Houston is here. And then I wait for everybody to clap and then make a joke. No, she seemed genuinely like Whitney Houston's here. And she was like really excited about it. Then she embarrassed herself by singing.
None of our business. None of our business.
But again, this was oddly free of like really things that made you like, oh, I wish this would go away.
Yeah, I actually found myself I think the only real time I cringed was when Holly Hunter mentioned the Miramax brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And again, how could she didn't know?
No, of course not.
But like, it at least she didn't say their actual names. You know what I mean? Thank God.
There was one moment in this where I don't know if we were cringing, but it was a moment. There's a song nominated for best song from the movie Beethoven 2. Dolly Parton and James Ingram, which is not a pairing you would think of immediately.
No.
MJ, do you have any idea who James Ingram is?
I don't.
That's okay.
Yeah,
he was a big R&B singer of the 90s.
Was he the one that did it? Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, yeah.
Was that him? God, I fucking love that.
No, wait,
song.
no, that's Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, it is Jeffrey
God,
Osborne.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, it is Jeffrey Osborne.
Yeah, no,
Regardless.
Jeffrey Osborne. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ingram, I don't know what James Ingram's song.
He did. Didn't he do one of the Disney movies?
Very possibly.
Or he did.
James Ingram and Dolly Parton singing a song about dog love.
And it was so
The
slow and
This was
serious.
Yeah.
the love theme from Beethoven 2.
Oh, the love theme from Beethoven 2. And it's so out of place. And you know what? Again,
Credit to the Academy. They tried to make this thing like, they tried to make it, I don't know what they're...
Good?
They tried to make it into a tribute to Hollywood dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they put in all these clips of like Toto and like dogs from classic
Benji
films. And so they tried to give this sort of a gravitas in that way.
We didn't deserve this.
Who doesn't love cute puppies?
Well, that's true. And again, Dolly Parton, national fucking treasure Dolly Parton, sounded fabulous, looked fabulous. But then the minute that those fucking dogs came out, they came
Oh
out
my
on the
God.
fucking stage.
They brought out dogs, man.
They're singing this song, and Dolly and James just cannot believe this is where they are at this moment on the stage at the Oscars. And these two giant St. Bernards come out. And the St. Bernards, it's like they say, don't work with children and dogs,
right.
because they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And immediately, like the girl dog with the bow on her head just tries to leave the stage. And James Ingram, the most professional man in the world, come on back here.
Oh, he did. He was singing. Come on back. I had to ask if that's what he said, because that made me laugh so
Oh my god.
Because he's got a gorgeous voice for one, but like when you're singing to like a Saint Bernard, that's so weird.
Oh my
James.
god.
That was weird.
And Whoopi just looking at the whole thing after it ends, just Whoopi with this look on her face, like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, like,
whose idea was this?
Back to her and her mouth, it just agape, like, what? What the fuck just happened over there?
But she picks it up, like she turns it around. She goes, she'd say something about a bitch.
Yeah, and people called me a bitch.
And people
yeah. God bless him.
Oh my god.
Oh, such goodness. But again, like it was nice because it, like, aside from 2024's Oscars, where, we have Ryan Gosling doing I'm Just Ken, which is fantastic, I found myself cringing and looking away. And because, you know why? Because now we have that great fear that we know whatever happens on a live show like this is going to be all over the fucking internet within seconds.
Yeah.
So whatever these people do, the scrutiny is
weird
real.
To look at how comfortable everyone is here at this Oscars, because they know, like, I mean, other than the LA Times calendar section the following day that they're going to read.
Exactly. They can move on.
You're never going to have to hear about this again. You're not going to have to hear about it all day next day from everyone on social media.
No, like the Today Show would probably cover little bits and highlights, and that's it. That's it. Now it's like there's so much, like people like on Twitter, the minute something happens and there's Sean looking at it going like, okay, let's see what they said about that. I think that gives me more anxiety than anything, and it should give them
seriously
anxiety.
Like, I don't know how you cannot do anything now. You have to be careful about every single moment of every day, any little slip up of a word stumble, like,
right.
It's going to be on the internet for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like,
within a second, your life is ruined if you say one thing that you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. You know what I mean? Like,
and not even like just being, racist or
being,
sexist or anything like
just
that.
like you flub a line.
Yeah.
You
Adele
do
Dazeem.
Exactly. Right. Again, can we talk about little Elijah Wood sounding like he is? I mean, he's obviously like 13 years old when he's up there, but he delivered like the way he presented. He was like a little adult. Like he's so confident, and like you just don't see kids like that at that age being like that. I was
Elijah
really
Wood
impressed.
handed out the special effects Oscar to Jurassic Park, which won a number of Oscars as well.
His little baby face, like he doesn't even know he's going to be a hobbit. Like, that's all coming. That's all coming soon. I loved him. Little Anna Pacquin winning for The Piano, and she's just adorable up there.
She was so happy.
Aw, she's holding on to her, just like, oh, no. And I wanted to hug her so bad. Honey, you deserved it, you sweeto.
The Piano, an Academy Award winning film that I'm always joking about Harvey Keitel's penis about.
It was right there in your face. Just like the ballet performance that we watched.
So yeah, for best score, they thought it would be a great idea. And this, again, it was a good idea. These are incredibly talented people.
100%.
Yes.
The dancers were amazing. It was weird. Some of the songs some of the music that they were dancing to is odd.
Yeah.
Like some of the nominees for best music.
Yeah.
Best score were just kind of unusual to have a ballet to. Like the firm music doesn't really fit.
That didn't fit.
Well, we were really worried how they were going to do
Schindler's List.
Yeah, Schindler's List ballet. It seemed like this could be and they pulled it off.
They did. I mean, it was nice that they slowed it down a bit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you cannot focus on anything but somebody's batch, which is all I could do,
for listeners, think of David Bowie in Labyrinth for a moment.
And stay there. Stay there with that thought.
Now think of that in ballet.
in ballet. And again, it's not their fault. Some of them are super endowed, some of them aren't. But the fact that that's where my eyes are going to go first.
Yeah.
There, you saw every contour. Every contour.
One guy, one poor soul. He apparently got the wrong size tights because the wedgie that this man had.
Oh, honey.
And dancing in it.
So much definition on that backside.
I mean, here's the thing. You have a great ass. And overall, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
They're so far in there.
So far in there.
It's unfortunate.
Oh.
But, you
It is
know.
unfortunate. You're right.
Back to Schindler's List.
Back to Schindler's List. Oh, we really, like, that movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That movie.
Won multiple Oscars, of course, winning Best Picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so hard,
And
to
there's a Holocaust survivor on stage when they're handing out Best Picture, and he reads out the number.
his number that was on his arm, and you're just like just crushed. Beyond that, fucking Bruce Springsteen and Neil Young's performance from their songs from Philadelphia. Tom Hanks's fucking acceptance speech, which I know I'm like, I know this is powerful because I remember watching this. I remember because it was at the apartment in Eldridge, I believe it was. And I will never forget that. I forgot that, like, the minute he starts talking, he's already got tears in his voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And just what he had to say and how important doing that film
MJ,
was.
Experiencing this for the first time, what were you like? What was that like for you?
It was very interesting. I'm gonna be totally honest. I feel like he got a little. I don't know much about the movie. Was it religious or some form?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, he just seemed like he was going into God in a way, and I get very uncomfortable when people go into that sort of
for
thing.
him, I think what he was trying to say was that God, to him, God loves everyone.
And I think that that's a fantastic message. I just automatically get very uncomfortable whenever somebody mentions God, especially in that context, just because of so many things that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was really beautiful the way that he said it, or the things that he said anyway.
Talking about his teacher and his
I thought that was amazing and just so incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and to say it that way too, I really love that because again, we're early 90s. The AIDS epidemic is not going away; it's only getting worse. And just for him to do that and take on that role, when he said that, even though he had his own lover, he would definitely take Antonio Banderas.
It's the only one he would trade.
The only one he would trade for.
That was beautiful.
I love that so much.
That was hilarious.
Again, this is somebody who doesn't have fragile masculinity. He's so not afraid to just like, he's fucking hot. You know what I mean?
Especially like before the 2000s, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's big.
Yeah,
that's really big.
It's hard to kind of explain just how unusual. Like today, you'll see pride flags.
Yeah.
At the Academy Awards or big award shows, and it's like you didn't at the time. Not that the pride movement as it is now didn't really exist in the same way. It existed. Right. It existed in a different way. It wasn't quite as brand specific, I would say. Yeah. Not to take anything away from it today, but it was less of a togetherness because so many people were dying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Those lines from Streets of Philadelphia.
Oh God! Between that and what
when you think about what it's about,
I know. Like he doesn't even recognize his own face, and just all that. It was heartbreaking. I don't remember having that again. That kind of an emotional reaction that night.
Yeah.
Because again, I think it was more like I was doing homework and I'm watching the Oscars kind of thing. But listening, as a 47-year-old now, it was so much deeper, so much more nuanced and beautiful.
desperately trying to be a disengaged Gen Xer at the time.
Yeah,
You're trying desperately not
dissociating constantly
Dissociating.
back then.
not trying to have any real emotions.
Exactly.
You're going to hit 48 and hear this and have suddenly a lot of real emotion, and you don't know what to do with it.
It's the
And
weirdest thing. Like, you get to this point, and even men and women alike, I'm telling you, you cry a lot more at this age than you ever fucking did. Because you feel it, everything so much more deeply, because you're like, I was such an idiot back then. Like, why didn't I? Yeah, no, I spent more time crying these days than I ever have. Can I help you?
Well, because we spent, a good portion of our lives pretending that emotion didn't exist.
As you do.
That's going to come back on you eventually. Like, eventually it's going to hit you that you've been suppressing so many emotions that you'll reach an age where you can no longer suppress that. And it comes out in crying over watching Neil Young play piano.
I really hope that for me it's not true that you cry more, because I don't think I'll ever stop crying if that's the case.
No,
I cry an awful lot now.
You're getting it all out now. See, we
Yes.
denied that emotion existed when we were your age. So now it's like
lovely.
it just comes in waves that you can't control. I cried 3 times during this Academy Awards.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Well, I mean, there was just so many heavy-hitting films that
Yeah.
were out.
Well, and
It's-
Philadelphia especially, it was just
Yeah.
and not even nominated for Best Picture.
Serious.
He won Best Actor. But it didn't even get Best Director or Best Picture, but they went with Shadowlands and they went with fucking Remains of the Day.
Remains of the Dead. That's what you pick. The movie that we were falling asleep through for 3 days.
Fucking boring ass masterpiece theater bullshit. Nothing against masterpiece theater. I'm just it's this faux pretension. It's just this this is feigned importance. This is important because it's English and quiet.
yeah, and that it has some sort of air about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm so much more important
It just
than
assumes
you.
itself. It's presumptive
Yeah.
on you that you're going to respect this because it's English and quiet.
Are we talking about Remains of the Day again?
We're just talking about the fact that Remains of the Day is a Best Picture nominee and Philadelphia isn't.
That's fucked. That is absolutely fucked.
Because here you have a bunch of genuine emotion, and it's no, we want to reward the movie that's all about suppressing all emotion to the point where you can't see anything actually happening. You have to assume that this is the greatest love story never told.
Right. Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh my god, is The Remains of the Day the most Gen X movie ever?
Oh my god! No!
It's all about suppressing your emotions and not having any opinions.
Oh my god! You guys, it is. Maybe that's why we have such disdain for it. We resent that film.
Oh, you like The Remains of the Day? MJ, just imagine going through an entire day talking oh, really? You like that?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, that movie.
Oh, we had a great time, didn't we?
I vaguely remember that way of talking being a gimmick on a show. I don't remember what
Chandler.
show it was.
very Chandler. Oh, let's do
It was
more of
somewhere
that.
else.
Someone was
It
mocking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chandler, you could tell what he was meaning.
That's true.
He's just a sarcastic person.
No, really, I loved it. The look on his face. No one pulled a face like Matthew Perry did. I think.
Oh,
God
God.
bless him.
Uh,
Yeah. So, the celebrities of the time, by the way,
Mhm.
can we talk about how gorgeous everybody looked at this fucking show?
yeah, Sharon Stone.
Oh,
I mean,
like,
human beings are not supposed to be that symmetrical.
that's so true. She about broke me though, because she was crying at Tom Hanks'
Yeah.
acceptance speech, and she has always been very, very vocal about the gay community and AIDS and all that kind of stuff. So that broke my heart. But even crying, she looked fucking beautiful. I'm like, God, stop it. Her, Winona Ryder, Gina Davis, everybody just looked fantastic. I
Holly
couldn't get
Hunter?
over it. Holly
Yes.
Hunter, Bruce Springsteen, who I'm not even, who I was never attracted to, looked gorgeous. I would hit that. I would. Because he'd hit this, obviously. But I mean, everybody just looked gorgeous. Everybody had beautiful dresses. It wasn't that weird kind of. I mean, aside from Debbie Allen's breastplate, I mean, which was weird.
Why was she wearing a breast? Did she have a fear of swords?
Okay, Emily Blunt, you look like you're a thank you bag, and they can just pick you up out of the seat. Every woman needs a handle, apparently.
So you told me though that Florence Pugh was wearing that similar style.
Was she? I didn't even know.
But hers were spaghetti straps. So you couldn't, I guess you couldn't notice it as much.
But like when she's sitting down, Emily Blunt's sitting down and there's like you just want to go and pick her up. I don't understand.
Or her husband, John Krasinski, is so tall that he could do that.
Pick her. That's true.
It. They just wore their kink.
Yeah.
To the
Oh, no.
Pick her up. And I love Emily Blunt. Don't get me wrong. I love her, but I did not like that. Just some of this fashion now. It's like, I know I sound like an old woman, an old man shaking
What
his fist at
happened
the
to
cloud.
elegance?
Yeah. What about Hollywood glamour? Why is everything about like misshapen outfits and I could see your tits.
Women with all their boobs on display.
Oh yeah, you don't leave anything to the imagination, young ladies. How dare you show your dirty pillows to us?
What is that a reference to?
Carrie.
Okay. I couldn't remember for a
It's
moment.
a Piper Laurie.
Oh, God.
You and your dirty pillows. Oh, I don't know.
That
We're also
dirty
the generation of
dirty
British singing
pillows
breasts.
belongs on a t-shirt next to throat
Throat
coat.
goat. Next to throat goat, 100%.
Thank
Dirty
you,
pillows
Cody Co. Thank you very much.
for your throat goat.
Throat coat is the newest part of our vernacular.
I love it so much. Come here. Get up here.
So casually too.
I know, just like
he just casually invents that. And I don't know.
Yeah, just like out of nowhere. Just like, there's a throat goat. And it's like, it's almost Bill Hixian in a way, you know what I mean? Except, I mean, I'm thinking of Goat Boy, but still, like, it's just very funny.
Because I hate the term goat to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
I hate it a lot. It's so overused.
Oh, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
When people say, "Oh, that's a goat," and I'm like,
It's goat. It's goated.
shut the fuck up.
No, a goat is an animal at the zoo.
Right.
At the petting zoo.
Just say they're the greatest.
MJ just got 20 years older.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, are we aging? Is that a fine line and wrinkle by your eye? We're aging you.
See, I have never been able to handle some of the slang. Like, I can't handle any sort of slang. Old slang, new slang, any slang. I'm just like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I have to look it up every time. I use it for some of my friends because I have to try. But, like, I don't understand most of it. I really don't.
I do say a song slaps when it does, but I refuse to say that's a bop because fuck you.
Yeah, I've
I
heard that.
hate that. That's a bop, man. No, shut the fuck up. But it slaps.
That
yeah.
sounds old. That sounds older too,
No,
though.
well,
Like they brought it back.
That's a millennial thing.
Who put the bop in the bop shabop shabop?
Don't.
Who put the ram in the ram?
Oh God, I hate you so much. That's one of the worst songs of all.
That's a
fucking
1950s
time.
song.
God damn it.
I've heard that before. I think.
50s music was just gimmick. That's all it was. Straight up fucking gimmick. I have so much vitriol and anger when it comes to talking about the 50s music. I fucking hate it. Anyway. So, musical performances. Poor Janet.
Oh yeah, poor Janet Jackson.
God.
Apparently they fucked up her monitor or something.
Yeah, you could tell because she
was off
key,
time. Yeah,
off key. Yeah,
she's not hitting the notes.
no, and
because she can't probably hear herself.
and you could tell like she keeps putting her finger to her ear,
Yeah,
and then she keeps signaling. You could tell she's signaling to try to get somebody to change it, like with the monitor, and she's doing again, which was from Poetic Justice. And I love that song, but man, that was not enjoyable to watch.
it was bad.
Yeah.
And the piano sounded terrible.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a synthesizer.
But it was literally
weird.
Terry Jam on stage playing
Terry Jam.
Jimmy Jam.
That's the whitest thing you've ever said. Terry Jam and Jimmy Lewis, right? That was very uncomfortable, and not like that, but Janet, who looks 1,000 times beautiful every time you see her. Her hair was Ron Perlman from Beauty and the Beast. You're right. It was so weird. It was so weird.
She was rocking the Beast cut.
Oh, okay. But if we're gonna do that, what the fuck was Glenn Close doing with that haircut?
I don't know.
It was like your grandfather and your lesbian aunt. We're like together. I don't understand.
Was it you who sent me the meme about Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Probably. I'm
So-
sure I did.
If you don't know, Greg the Hammer Valentine is a former professional wrestler, former Intercontinental Champion even, beloved figure in the world of professional wrestling. But if you know a woman in her 60s, this
No.
is so bad. There's a lot of women who look
Oh yes, it was me.
like this man.
That I went to high school with her. Her name was Stacy,
Oh.
and she wore a lot of acid was. And dated a 36-year-old man.
A lot
True
of
story.
women at Dollar General just looking like that.
Oh,
Looking
that's true.
like Greg the Hammer Valentine. Look up the photo of Greg the Hammer Valentine.
You have to
Oh
tell
my
her, you have to
God.
say, you
And then
can't
you'll-
smoke in here.
Oh god.
Glenn Close.
Oh, Glenn.
looks like that.
God,
Looks like Greg the Hammer. No, she's much more beautiful than Greg the Hammer Valentine.
that's so true. And again, fantastic actress.
She is a handsome woman.
A handsome woman. Thank you, Seth MacFarlane. Because that's one of the funniest things on Family Guy that I ever heard.
And it's the greatest
Very
joke because
handsome
you
woman.
don't know why it's funny, but it's just
because
it-
it's true, and you're like, why? And then I always get that line in my head. I won't be ignored, Dan. Like I always think of that line every fucking time I hear a handsome woman. God bless her. Oh, Glenn. Anyway,
Yeah.
beautiful dress Glenn had on as well, but just horrible hair. I didn't look like she had a receding hairline. It was really
It's a lot,
upsetting.
lot of forehead, but
yeah, a
then
lot of forehead.
there were a lot of absent foreheads as well.
Yeah, this was the year of the bangs.
Lots of
This is
bangs.
right before Holly Hunter cut bangs, by the way. 'Cause she
Goldie
was-
Hawn,
Yep, Goldie Hawn,
Gina Davis,
Gina Davis,
anti forehead.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern,
Yeah,
no forehead.
no forehead, just all bangs and
Have
bang
you heard?
like
By the way,
material.
just to completely to go off on a rare tangent that the show never does.
yeah.
Um,
We're
you
not
heard-
known for that.
there's a Kate Middleton conspiracy that she got bangs and that's why she's in hiding.
Oh,
Oh.
I hope that's the case. Because I don't want her to be dead. I just don't. I mean, well, do I want her to have bangs though? Too? I don't know. I don't know. We're praying for you, Kate.
Produce that white lady. That's all I'm saying.
Produce that white. God, that was the best. That was the best. That was the best.
Shout out to that lady on TikTok.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Shit, that was so fucking funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Produce that white lady. So good.
Just
Jesus.
saying what all of us are thinking.
That's true. She can't be dead, you guys, right? She's not dead.
I don't think so.
I mean, we've seen Dave. We do know that
Dave.
it's possible.
Academy Award nominee Dave.
Dave, exactly.
Yes.
Best nominee of the night. We didn't even know Dave was nominated.
I don't know if there's a bad Dave on this earth, if I'm honest. You know?
Well,
Dave
actually,
Albertson, our old school principal / janitor / mayor of our town
That was McLaughlin.
/
Oh.
Buster.
Dave
Buster.
McLaughlin.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. Mr. Albertson.
Oh, yeah.
He
That's
was
a
a
different
good one. Yeah. Dave Katz.
Dave Katz.
Dave
That's
Perner.
Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Dave Perner.
Dave.
Your buddy Dave Severs. Dave
From Wendy's.
from Wendy's Dave, who was really, pro-adoption. That
That's
was
literally
awesome.
all the Daves.
All
So many Daves.
There are no other Daves in this. That's it.
Sam and Dave, but he
Sam
doesn't
and Dave.
count.
No.
He'll always be second to Sam.
Yeah. Only one good Sam, apparently. Aw. Anyway,
Weird tangent.
yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just overall, aside from, again, going to 2024, having Ryan Gosling, that was the best part about it.
Yeah.
And I did that, but everything else made me cringe. And then,
I appreciate some of what Jimmy Kimmel does.
yeah, but
Like he's a good person. He's a good
person, but
but
this is not the job for him.
yeah, that style of like this person is here and this person is here.
Fire
and
your writers. That's all I'm saying.
Good God, let's just stop with the premise of that. Like that just doesn't work anymore.
No.
So
my question was like, did he bring his own writers? Because
I don't know.
he even delivered some of those jokes like they weren't his. Like it just seemed like, oh, this is coming from some hack in a back room. And it wouldn't surprise me because let's face it, the Oscars and the Emmys, no one can write a funny joke aside from the one thing with John Cena, and that was it.
Is it though that I don't want to say that it's not political correctness or is not wokeism or anything like that, which are, by the way, the same thing. People forget that political correctness ever happened, but it was the first woke.
It absolutely was.
And it was right at the time.
Yeah.
We always made fun of political correctness in the 90s, but it was actually the right thing.
It was the right thing to do.
We were really stupid.
Yeah.
There's just really a lot of people who are going, please just use our correct pronouns and not, use racial stereotypes against us.
And they're like, no, I like how it's been.
Stop being so politically correct all the time.
As a white man, I find you're infringing on my right to be an asshole.
Bill Maher always sucked.
Bill
oh my
Maher
God.
always sucked.
Glass shatters.
Yeah, who knew?
He always sucked.
God. I'll never forgive you, Bill Maher. Bill Maher and Dennis Miller. Oh, yeah, that's because I made that joke the other night. Like, they can go fuck each other. I'm like, no, they don't deserve to be gay. Fuck them. Assholes. Jesus. Life is not that hard.
Why can't I say the N-word? I don't understand.
I don't get. Why do they get so pissed
Take
off?
2 seconds and think about it.
Right.
Just take 2 seconds.
Why shouldn't a woman be in her bare feet in the kitchen making me a sandwich? I don't get it.
All women should be on their knees thanking Bill Clinton.
That's right. Just like, aw.
Actual line.
Actual line.
Actual
yeah.
line.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. Let's talk about Kate Middleton.
Just all need to reassure Amy that she's not dead.
I don't want her to be dead.
No, she's busy. She's busy learning Canva.
Yeah, you know that bitch is not sitting down doing her own fucking Photoshop. That's not happening.
Let me just take my headshot from Vogue and put it on my own.
Push her closer.
That's her headshot from Vogue. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I saw it on TikTok last night. They're pretty sure that's the same.
Wow. Kate Middleton may speak about her health in public engagements.
Good for her, I guess.
Well,
I guess if it means she's not dead, good things. It's just weird, you guys. It's weird that you would do this. That you're the most famous people in your country, and you're acting like people being worried that you haven't shown yourself in months is a weird thing. No, it's a weird thing.
It is a weird
thing. You signed up for this.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the princess. You wanted to be a royal. This is you chose this for yourself.
Oh.
So you're going to have to get your picture taken. That's just going to have to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's just it. God. Oh.
Yeah.
Now I'm just sad.
Want to talk about Schindler's List?
That'll perk me right up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Schindler's List is not funny, but referring it to that in that context,
I know, exactly.
it's very funny.
It's so weird that way.
It's like the greatest possible contrast you can make to something that is bizarre and entertaining, and then you just bring up Schindler's List, and it's just a complete It's a complete turn in the other
See,
direction.
Okay, so you trying to be an actor, if you ever need to stay in a headspace, think Schindler's List. You do that. Just imagine, or
It's like you're not going to be able to laugh.
you're not going to be able to laugh. Little Robbie always says, think of a bus full of dead nuns. That's a good one. Or a bus full of naked dead nuns.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's going to put you right off.
Just learn your habits.
Yeah, there it is.
I
Yeah.
don't need to feign disgust. that one.
You're already comfortable with religion.
I just
just think about religion. Just think about that.
Yeah.
Good bless. Good bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This was so casual. It was so casual. Like, it was so weirdly casual.
you're right.
And it does come from a place where, like, Kimmel is approaching this from a place of, like, anxiety, I think.
Yeah.
Even though he wouldn't admit it.
Yeah.
He's trying to make up for it with bravado, and that's where you end up with, like, the Barbie joke that didn't land, and, like, yeah, the Robert Downey Jr. joke that doesn't land. Like, he's trying to power through the anxiety with bravado, and it's very obvious.
Right.
Whereas Whoopi's got no anxiety doing what she's doing because, she might get a negative review, but it's not going to happen during the show, and it's not going to be the guy running for president.
That's true.
Bob Dole wasn't on Twitter just, like, mocking Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, that's
He probably didn't even comment about it the next day.
Yep. Everyone was just pretty chill. I liked that.
But they could be.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll never be that again.
Exactly.
Because of social media, because of Facebook and Twitter. That'll never happen again. We'll never have that lack of anxiety from our celebrities.
Or, well, I mean, for anybody, really. I think
You'd have to be a sociopath to be able to just push all that aside and just, like, be genuine for a moment.
Yeah.
And express, like, a real emotion.
Oh, what are those?
But we do, not that we don't value, I think there's a value of earnestness, and certainly, like, Emma Stone, like, she can be up there and be earnest and be honest, and people can be accepting of that. And, but there's still a fear of, like, if I trip, that's they're going to talk about that and not talk about, me thanking my mom or me thanking my co-stars,
right.
or,
Yeah. Because you're not only not human.
And it's not about wokeism. It's not so much about somebody getting up there and accidentally saying so. I don't think these are people who are not worried necessarily about that.
Right.
Because most of them aren't going to say something like that.
Right.
They're good people who aren't going to go up there and say something horrific. Mm-hmm. They're not intimidated into not saying it. They just don't say it because it's not right to say that shit.
Right. They're not Donald Trump.
They're more concerned about people commenting on their appearance or commenting on their manner. Like, Emma Stone's biggest worry that night was, like, did I shake Sally Field's hand enough?
Yeah.
Or, like, and if I don't look at Lupita Nyong'o correctly, then everybody's gonna say I snubbed her.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much more scrutiny now. So much more.
And in that way, yes.
Yes.
Like, I had no fear that anybody was going to get up there and say something racist or homophobic or transphobic because not just because they're afraid of it, but because they don't believe that. They don't believe those terrible things.
Yep. I don't know. I liked doing this. I liked especially because what was fun about it too is that because we just had finished 1993, we knew what was going to be up for these awards, which it's like, oh, I remember that one. Like, you got really kind of excited. Because we actually were familiar with some of these films, and then we were like,
not if you listen to this show, you're not.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
most of the movies nominated, we didn't watch those.
We didn't watch them. No, well, and again, it's out of respect for things like Schindler's List and Philadelphia that we don't do that, because to be honest, I mean, we take the piss out of everything, and we are a laughing podcast for the most part.
This is a comedy podcast.
Yeah, we have a cunt list. I mean, we're not.
This is not the place.
No, it's not the place.
You don't want to deny it either. You don't want to pretend it's not out there. You need to watch Schindler's List.
You need to watch both of those films. Yeah,
that you watch Schindler's List in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. You're going to learn about the world and see the world for what it is.
Yeah,
and should never be again.
Right.
Those are incredibly valuable films, and That's why they don't belong in this context.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
Because we're making fun of things.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how handsome Glenn Close is. And Beethoven dogs.
Because we're a trio of assholes. on here. But we also know when to not fuck shit
The
up. You know what I mean?
assholes, yeah.
Exactly. So I look
it
forward
is-
to doing this again.
Like, it is weirdly... It's so it's sort of weird to think that this is so revolutionary that, that it was hard for Bruce Springsteen. It wasn't hard for him, but like other people wanted to make it hard for him to be where he was, be up there at the Oscars singing a song that was essentially a tribute to gay people who had died from AIDS.
Yeah.
Neil Young, again, these are associated with like the masculine qualities of a 70s rock star.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are incredibly judgmental about that.
Yep.
That if you're some sort of god of masculinity, you're not allowed to talk nicely about gay people. I mean, there's a line in Neil Young's Philadelphia song where he talks specifically about two men kissing, and it's like there's a lot of people who are very upset.
Yeah.
And
Those people suck.
those people suck. You are not welcome here.
Nope. This is not a safe place.
But again,
place
to
for
think
you.
about it, like today, you hear that in songs,
Mhm.
and it's accepted and normalized in many
Yeah.
ways. But and there are people who still get outraged about it, and those people are get shouted at and shouted down, hopefully, because they should be. But at the time, for him to do that, it was just 30 years ago, and that was revolutionary.
I know that, and that again, that it kind of made me have a sense of pride when I never really felt like I reserve the right to have pride, but it gives me a sense of pride to go, yeah, see, guess what? There were people championing, the right, correct way to be a human back then. And it's like that just made me think that I respect both Neil Young and Bruce Springsteen as musicians anyway, but it makes me respect them that much more that they didn't have fragile masculinity, that they were just fine creating art and making something important.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Because for both of them, it was about compassion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was about seeing suffering
Yeah.
and
Yep.
wanting to do something about it.
Yep. So, yeah, I think that was probably my favorite bit of
And
of
Spielberg the same way.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's where Schindler's List comes from, is from a place of horror, but also compassion
Mhm.
and care, and not allowing anyone to forget that this happened.
Exactly.
We cannot forget this happened,
Right.
because it'll happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And-
don't know how people can even forget. Like, are you just pretending to forget? Don't it's like, but I don't like people telling me never forget,
Yeah.
because I might one day forget about some things because I'm busy thinking about some other atrocity in this world. But these are things that you need to learn about
Yeah.
and always keep back here.
There's something that Spielberg said during his speech that kind of just hits me so hard when I think about it. He said the number of Holocaust survivors at the time
Yeah.
was a couple 100,000. And
Yeah.
when you think about 30 years later, 2024, that number is maybe thousands,
Yeah.
maybe less, because those people are gone now. The people who survived, most of them are gone. And if they're not, then they're 80s and 90s. And
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yep.
so that was fun. Let's talk about dog sex. Those Beethoven dogs were banging
They're
away
fucking in the back,
backstage.
yeah. God, that was a great transition, Sean. Well done.
I had to get out of it somehow.
Here, I found a picture that says, "Got any Irish in ya? Want some?"
Oh, God.
So Robert
That
Sheen
is
says
some-
to me every day.
That's
There was a-
something my father would put on a
You
t-shirt.
totally would.
Dude,
Dude, he's
Absolutely
got a
would.
shirt.
There was a
that's got
guy who
some-
lived in our town for years. I don't know who he is anymore, but he used to. He would have that like on a T-shirt, but it would be over his giant beer bottle costume that he wore
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
because he would dress as a giant beer.
Oh, we had so many live action Barneys in this town. God. You can't kill me. I'm already dead. Look at this one. John Worster posted this. This is my new favorite t-shirt. It says Irish breathalyzer up top.
Oh no!
With an arrow pointing down saying blow here.
No.
Yes, who's his new worst friend for that one? J. Brian Murphy, a fellow Irish person.
Oh,
God, that's
God.
great. That's great.
Wow.
Todd Berry says, blow here is unnecessary. The arrow does the heavy lifting in that joke. He's right, too.
Wow.
Oh, it is St. Patrick's Day. We should mention that.
Yeah,
it is St.
as
Patrick's
we're
Day.
recording this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're all wearing green.
See, I thought
Yes, we are.
It's a podcast.
I'm wearing green underpants,
Ugh.
which I like because then people have to pinch me, and then I say, that's not true. I am wearing green. And then I have to pull my pants down. And then I go to jail.
The progression of this story.
I regret nothing.
Why? 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 Why?
What in vibration?
Oh, dear God.
Look,
It's a podcast, Amy.
we
It's
just
a
spent
podcast.
a lot of time on Schindler's List, Philadelphia, crying. Now I'm looking at pictures of dildos with cigarettes in their hands. I'm sorry.
And a
it's
cowboy
funny.
hat.
And a cowboy hat.
Can't forget the cowboy
What's the
hat.
punchline?
What in vibration? Get it? Get it? Tarnation. Vibration.
Amy, are you done with the podcast?
Yeah, I am.
You...
It's
No,
like,
because like
you
I
checked
just
out.
I feel like I'm gonna cry a lot. I've already cried enough today, and you know,
Past Amy's nap time.
it is actually it kind of is. What is on the docket for next week?
Oh, God, don't ask me that.
Come on, you're supposed to be looking this shit
You
up.
guys want to watch Lightning Jack? No, I'm kidding.
Lightning Jack. Is that the Paul Hogan? Stop trying to make me watch Paul Hogan movies. It's not okay. No.
It's free on YouTube. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so are a lot of things that I wouldn't fucking watch.
Makes you wonder why it's free.
Right? Yeah.
What is the date today? Okay. Let's see. We could do either The Paper with Michael Keaton
I love Michael Keaton.
or Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because The Paper, I remember seeing that in the theater. I had to write a movie review for that for our newspaper, the high school newspaper and paper. And I really quite liked it. But 33 and a third, you know.
Parody movie.
It is.
Nathan Rabin just
Ooh.
put out a scathing review of it, though.
Did he?
Yeah, I hated it.
He hated it.
Hated it.
Oh,
We love Nathan on this show,
we
so.
do. And
But we also love parody movies. Like, we had such
We
a great
really
time with
do.
parody movies.
yeah,
Ooh.
93 was good for parody movies
It's
for
so good
us.
for parody
It was
movies.
fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, and I love Leslie Nielsen, but maybe we should do The Paper.
All right.
It's not one that I think a lot of people will remember either.
There's always D2 the Mighty Ducks.
Fuck you. You know what? I can honestly say, and I'm very proud of this. I've never seen a fucking Mighty Ducks movie.
Hey, Amy. Ducks fly together.
Nope. You keep that out of your fucking mouth.
You know when things get hard,
Nope.
Amy,
No.
ducks fly
No,
together.
No, they don't.
When there's turbulence, you know
No.
what ducks do?
No.
Ducks fly together.
Ducks fuck off is what ducks do. No mighty. You're a duck. Ducks aren't mighty. The fuck? They could, come over and just punch a duck in the face and he's just gonna fall over.
Would you say they're noble at the very least?
No, I wouldn't. I would say fuck most waterfowl. That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
How are ducks catching shrapnel now?
Because I mean, you've obviously never been bit by a swan, but okay. So I don't like any of those. I don't like any of them. No, I'm over it. Anyway, yeah, I think The Paper.
All right.
The Paper.
Maybe it'll be good. I haven't watched a good movie in 1994 yet.
It's true. Michael Keaton, please come through for us. Please come through for us. We need you.
Been rough. The best thing about 1994 is the Academy Awards.
Imagine.
That's true. That's fucking true.
When your options are fucking Lightning Jack, for fuck's sake. Like,
I mean, I mean, yeah, we're really grasping.
It's been hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because we're not going to watch the piano. That's not going to work for this show.
that's true. I don't want to do the piano.
We were going to watch Shadowlands. That wasn't going to happen. We intentionally skipped Ace Ventura because that's just horrific, awfulness of that.
The awfulness of it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What?
I'm looking at. Oh, that's true. I'm looking at the top Irish actors.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I'm seeing some that I agree with, but there's one glaring omission, my friend. He's not even on the. How is Robert Sheehan not one of the greatest Irish actors? Fuck you, MSN. You go fuck yourself. Bastards.
You're the only one who knows who he is.
That's not true. And
I'm sorry. We're talking about the star of Mortal Engines. Excuse
Oh,
me.
hey! I'm gonna call up the Shehab, and I will have the proof that there are more than just me interested in this man.
What in the world?
It's his fan club, you fuckwad.
You've been listening to the Critics 1994 podcast.
And fuck off.